and then we start. So please do this. So I hope you. There's someone else waiting. So let me go back a moment and also admit Belarus, because I invited also some of our Indian colleagues, because we are planning to launch a system changer network also in India. So Sevaraj, welcome as a guest today in our system changer network in India. Okay.
Hi, Sevaraj.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Good.
Fine.
So, and now we can do this, and then I can go maybe also back to our slides. Yeah, the agenda for today, of course, first of all, a very warm welcome from my side, but I think also among yourself, you already welcome each other, and you did it already. Yeah. We will start with some very short updates, mainly about the Making More Health Convention, some dates and the Leadership Week that will take place. I will come back to this in a second. We will have some short updates from all of us about status, what happened. Yeah, very shortly. I know a lot of things have happened. Not sure if Matthias can join us today. He will become a new partner in our system changer network, but he's still on holidays. So I have to see whether this is possible. But if not, I will give you some updates on what, who he is and what he does. Then you have seen I have added already in the invitation the System Changer Network manual that we have worked out, where I need your feedback, where we will discuss together what are the next steps. The same is true for the Partnering Manifesto. And then I will also give you an update on this network analysis tool and how we proceed with that. Last but not least, maybe also we can summarize it if we did not mention it before, what's happening on a volunteer strategy level or the volunteer level. And then maybe we have some next dates, etc., that we should discuss. Yeah, regarding the first short updates, so we will have, and you all hopefully know that, on 4th and 5th of October, our next Making More Health Together convention. This time it is all about partnering. It has a very high focus on investors. That's why we, with our community activation, are not really so much in the focus. We have here and there small sessions. There is one session on a women health app in Kenya, which is on the 4th of October. And the second day, we will have also a half hour session to share the first ideas around the network analysis tool. Myself, I will be in Nairobi, and together also Sevaraj, you will also be there. We will meet some social entrepreneurs, because mainly social entrepreneurs will come this time to Nairobi. I hope that next year we will have much better opportunities as a team to also meet in person there. Some of you will be there, some of you can't make it to Nairobi, mainly because we have in parallel our leadership weeks. So we have planned 2 leadership weeks, Making More Health Insights weeks, in the 2 first weeks in October. That's why Chrysanthos, Cleophas, Vera, Elizabeth probably are very busy with that and cannot join, but maybe you can dial in if you are not busy with us and our managers at the same time. So this is a big event. I have also to say we have huge discussion at the moment within BI, because what we do with community activation becomes more and more strategically seen. There are discussions whether we will split it if it should still stay under MMH or become somehow, autonomous, still under BI, but in a, let's say, more strategic, sustainable way with another planning. But this is all just very at the beginning. What I can tell you, we will continue our work. There are no content issues coming up. And I will, of course, also keep you informed how things are happening. What else? You have, maybe some of you have participated in our first cultural exchange club, which will continue. I think it was very much welcomed by the communities. We will have first aid training, on-site training in Western Kenya coming up at 3 locations. I have some other colleagues in the pipeline who would love to travel to Kenya to teach you about toothpaste making. And the other one is about bakery items. Here we are in the preparation phase. And also our digital devices are on the arrival for some of you. So, our Meta colleagues have collected digital devices now. I don't know, I think it's another 60, 70 devices, and they are on the way. Plus also, let's say, the digital trainer that will visit then all these locations. But the people, I mean, they know and will get more digital skill learning there. Of course, not every one of you is involved yet. Who is not might be in the next batch next year. This is a program as well with the digital skills and digital devices that we will also spread and hopefully have a bigger outreach than also to the other locations where we are. Good. With this, if there are no questions, and please, I cannot see your hands because I have the big screen here with the agenda. If you have questions, just speak up. If there are no questions at this point, then I would really love to get short updates from you. What has happened? Try to make it short. I know in some locations a lot of new projects have happened, new volunteer structures came up, but maybe you try to summarize it, especially also, for example, when it comes to the infrastructures, to trainings, to exchanges and so on. So who wants to start? Should I just name someone? Should we take the sequence here without?
Rafa's raised his hand.
Okay, so
Manuela,
yeah.
I have one short question, since we had just elections in Kenya, and the news have come down about the results, but can anybody of the participants just summarize in short what is the situation right now and whether it could or would have any impact on the operation of NGOs? Is that possible in a short summary?
Yeah, maybe can you give us a short overview what's happening? And maybe the others, they just mute the micro. This was good. We have some background noise here.
Wow. Nice to see all of you. Thank you, Manuela, for the updates. As Core Health and Wealth, we've continued with some of the trainings. Like actually yesterday and today, we got a facilitator that is helping to train the farmers on beekeeping. So today it's been practical. So there are facilitators going on the same. We've continued the activities, the empowerment activities with the community people, building skills. So we've had at least a lot of people participating in enterprises and improve on their skills. So like at least women knowing how to improve their skills. We hosted GASP team who visited around to just come and have an exchange with them, and just to look at what they are doing. And it was very good to have the albinism community, people living with albinism, visiting the farmers and sharing, exchanging. It was a very encouraging scenario where they were able to learn from farmers how different things and also exchange. We also had the opportunity to host Wawa from Homa Bay, who actually, it was a very good moment. The women from Homa Bay came teaching our women on basketry, how to make baskets, and reusable sanitary towels, which some of our community members have actually started working on and perfecting the same. So we continue with the skills training. We continue with because being a farming community, continue practicing on the different training activities on farming. What we are doing is, as we continue doing that, we continue the advantage of having the volunteers has been very helpful, because it has helped us to really do a lot of extension work where they go out to the communities and sensitize them, like on water management, using WADI, monitoring the WADI, how it is happening. They've been a bit of helping out communities on sanitary management. And with the BSF, we've kind of become like a collection point for waste. So in the local village, in the local market, we actually pick up every day, we pick up the waste so that we feed it on the BSF. So in that, what happens generally then is helping to entrench the messaging of hygiene, of water and sanitation. I'm happy our water project, the dam, is completed. We was recently at least launched by the First Lady, the governor, the outgoing governor. And we are waiting at least for official more commissioning when the managers will be around, so that at least we can have now at least more experience on how that is working. But so far so good. We really continuing, and the training on NGO was very helpful to put up systems and structures which we continue to, as we serve the community, we build our internal systems. So that's what I can say we are doing. I know there's quite a lot, but I just want to summarize for that for now, and maybe allow Vera to share her bit, and then we can continue.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Vera.
Yeah, I want to report that we are doing well at the Parent Center. The community is very excited with this activity. We have had frequent interviews with the parents, and also we have done interviews from the school to ascertain the difference between the kids who have gone through Parent Center and those who who joined school directly from their parents. And we are getting great feedback from both the parents and the teachers. And so it's quite encouraging that our kids are good in communication skills. They are able to interact so well with the others in class and in school. They are good in participating. They are very active. And also the Parent Center has helped them to nurture talents like artwork. They are very good at storytelling. And also the kids who come to Parent Center, they're able to work so well with their parents at home. So when the mothers are doing the cooking, the kids are participating. And so we are seeing the benefit of the Parent Center to the community, and the community is very much happy, and they're excited, and they are so thankful that the Parent Center came their way. And so we are so happy. maybe we can ask Esther to say something about the parent center also.
Yeah, if Esther.
Okay, I just want.
Hi, Esther.
Yes, okay. Hi. So actually, I am on the river of the Rhine, the Rhine. Manuel, I don't know how to pronounce. So we are very close to each other. I am in Bonn. Okay, so just one quotation from the teacher's interview is that the parent center is the work of the teachers, which is, I think, it does everything, the work we've done so far with the children in the parent center. There is continuous training of the volunteers, and actually this request came from their side. So the volunteers asked us to have online training. So we agreed with Vera to have a monthly based online training for them, concentrating more on child development and providing new activity we design together. This is what happened in the past, and I think this is what I need to talk with Vera. But when we are going in October, we need to focus on much more on the parent training. So why education is so important and so on. So we are going to step into a second level with the parent center, continuing the work with the children, of course, but also start to work with the parents. Yeah, in a nutshell.
Wow, this is a lot I heard from all the three of you. So very happy, and it seemed that yeah, things are working out very well, and you have a lot of new plans, and that yeah, also really new things came up with these volunteer exchanges, and yeah, I look forward to hear even more about it from the other people here. Before passing over, maybe a last word from you, Cleophas, about the center, the MMH center, which is still not there, our MMH center 3. Yeah, so we have now one in Vibuye, one in Eldoret, and number 3 is under development. What has happened there so far, Cleophas?
So we preparing at least to set up our MMH3 center. But one of the land we got, at least we got a piece of land that had old house that we have actually, we are using temporarily as our base to do some of the trainings. So we have renovated it. Though still requires a little bit of work, which we are going to do, like painting and all that. So at least there's a place where we can now do some of the activities. Like right now, we have at least a meeting place for the people as they come and to work on. Because where we used to meet in the cooperative store, and then it became under construction. And so all the activities we were doing were all displaced. But now at least I'm happy now with this new facility. It is helping us at least to hold meetings, though not convenient, but at least we get to have something. So, but we are planning for the coming year to really focus on setting up our center with training places and production places, at least to empower the community. So far, we are happy. On the piece of land, we have at least set up some demonstration units for farming, so that farmers are actually coming there. Like today, we are hosting, yesterday we had 66, today we have about 45 that are coming to see how to just plant their pieces of land using what we have done. And that is very helpful. The knowledge we have worked with, there's a team, Grow Healthy, that I've had several discussions with Tanya and team on how to make some setup farms. We want to see if we can improve on that. So on this piece of land, at least now if you came, you'll find some vegetables and production. That's where we have set up our BSF, farmers come to learn. The trainers who came to train our farmers on bee farming also became students of BSF today because they saw on that. So it was a really kind of exchange training. So far it's very helpful. I can see there's excitement. I can't wait to see a full-fledged activity going on. So we have the tailoring, knitting going on, tapestry, making bags, basketry, and different. And today and this week, they started making shawls. So the interest of the women and whatever has been really pushing. So they keep us identifying new people, at least that come together. And I just want to echo what Manuela said about the cultural exchange, the cookery and the exchange. In fact, they were saying it should be almost every week, maybe a day or so, where they also learn. It was a very good learning experience to see what people in India are doing, and I think I can say that. So I believe with the MMH Center coming up next year, there will be now a lot of activities housed. Right now, we have scattered them in different places, but so far so good.
Thank you, Cleophas. And just having you now here on the line, Ralph asked for the political situation. So the elections have taken place. As far as I understood, the outcome is not so clear as the both candidates. I mean, the results were very close to each other. And can you give us a situation, what will happen in the next days? And what is the situation in terms, is there any violence? Is it peaceful in Western Kenya? How is it?
For now, we are happy. At least it has been very peaceful since the election day. There have not been reported violent cases, but there was a contestation of the presidential elections. So there was a declared president-elect, but the opposition who was close went to the Supreme Court. So the court starts its sitting on Monday, 30th, and they should make a ruling by 5th of September to determine whether the current one stands. So the decision, we will wait for 5th, whether to uphold the current results or to overturn it or to have a rerun of the presidential elections. But so far, there is no violence, there's peace. So the contestation has been on the presidential, but on the governors, I think 45 of them have been sworn in today. So like we have a new governor in Bungoma, but the good thing is at least Chris and I know them. Also in Eldoret, there was Singishu governor. We know him, so he's new, but at least so we have goodwill still on both. So, but there's totally been change in the leadership for the member of parliament, member of county assemblies, and governor. So we have a new set of leaders. So far, so it is peaceful. There's not been like violence or whatever. So we're hoping that after the ruling, things will be okay.
Okay, so let's hope. Good, thank you so much. And questions here? If not, we continue. So yeah, the next presenters, do you also want to give us a short summary what's happening in Webuye?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Good to see you all. I hope you are all fine. Yeah. Now, of course, Manuela, a lot has happened, but I'll just try to summarize so that at least we don't take much time on this. So I think to start with, the exchange program that we actually undertook after having gone to Homa Bay with the WAWA group, of course, we did another visit to the core health and wealth, and that has actually raised the self-esteem of my team to another level again. Now, I think that kind of relationship is actually doing us great because it is actually unfolding by people and making them look great in the community. Now, a number of trainings as well are ongoing. Of course, we just had the BSF, which currently we have the BSF unit, which is running. We're actually using the West from the community and then at the center from the center to make it run. And so far, we are using the same BSF is now being used to feed our poultry, which is now on toes, up and going, and then the pigs, they are now feeding on the BSF that is actually being manufactured or taken care from the center. We've had also a number of trainings on water conservation, and of course by the Ashoka team. And the implementation is actually ongoing. Like at the center, we've actually done the recharge facility on the center, where actually we are directing water back into the ground. So whatever has been learned is actually being practiced. And we intend, of course, we have also done it in one of the schools, but we intend to scale it up in the community because our people who are the volunteers are already training other people in the community. Of course, alongside the trainings, we've also done, and we have also just started the training on disability, which is a core thing here. And of course, people are happy, the parents are happy to learn about it. And we are scaling the same, giving an opportunity to the neediest mothers, our very vulnerable mothers, needy mothers, at the club that we have. We have also given them an opportunity to come and attend alongside other thought leaders in the community. Of course, the Help for You trainings, of course, we graduated, which was actually very nice. The graduates graduated and are really doing some good work in the community alongside that. Now, the trainings that we coordinated that from the KKID, Calcubel Foundation, actually has really done us good, where 25 organizations were actually trained on how to grow, how the organizations and understanding the international standards on fundraising. Now, this partnership with the Maltesa International, Matthias, is actually another big boost that we are actually looking forward to, because through that, of course, Matthias visited the site. We've actually discussed a lot, and we are looking forward to better things as far as water conservation is concerned in the community. Now, we're looking forward to the guest house, of course, the Leadership Week. Our guest houses are set, they are ready for use, and our hall can actually accommodate 200 people at a go. The MMH hall, guest house hall, can accommodate 200 people at a go. And this is a big thing in the community. So we are looking forward to have our first batch of visitors from Ashoka just officially to come and start. Well, I think it will be from 4th, unless something happens, but from 4th of September, I think we shall be receiving our first batch of visitors at the MMH guest house, so that at least we can actually proceed from there. And then we are looking forward that during the Leadership Week, of course, Manuela, when you come, we shall organize. Now that the current county leadership, we are actually in good terms the way Clopas has said. Of course, the county governor, the governor of Bungoma is a guy we interact. In fact, he's swearing in today. He had even invited me to attend, but because of these meetings, I said, okay, fine. I'll be having a series of meetings. So he's somebody actually we understand each other. I've met him severally, and of course, I'll be meeting him this Saturday. I have an appointment to discuss with him issues pertaining the MMH operations within the county of Bungoma. Now, I think the cultural exchange, we have already set up an open fire place where we shall be doing our cultural operations. And all this is we have a rock garden that is already being prepared. And I know anytime, of course, it can as well be used. But by the time we shall be having the Leadership Week, it will be fully functional. And I think in 2 weeks' time, we shall be commissioning it to start, so that at least operations concerning the culture and other things can be done within that garden, the rock garden, which is just part and parcel of the MMH guest house as a resting point. Because of the high demand and the needs from the community, we've raised our number of volunteers from 36 to 45. And we've now come up with another center. Of course, we've opened up another hub sub-hub in Kitale. And specifically, this one we are looking forward to incorporate and start more of a rehab there and join it up so that at least our people can as well enjoy. Number of trainings are in place and have been planned, like the bakery training already planned for this. And then I think with many more trainings, and we are having many, many more visitors visiting the center, looking at the projects that we are actually doing. And of course, the Ashoka team will be coming just to check and see the projects that we are rolling out as a result of the trainings. And I think there's much we can discuss, but this is just a short update. We are in discussions already with other partners already. And of course, Christopher Mbaya, I think, will be visiting the center tomorrow just to see the progress of the guest houses and how far we are actually pushing on. So far, I think, it's just in a nutshell, Manada, I know there's a lot that we are doing here. Very busy with a number of people here, and of course, doing all the finishings and putting the fences and the gates, plus everything at the center. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Banton. So you definitely, all of you raised my curiosity, and I would love to come tomorrow, but I can't. So
yeah,
some other some few weeks, and then hopefully, I will also see that. But I'm very happy that among the group, many of you now are visiting each other and also seeing this progress. So really, really great to hear all these things. Thank you, Chris Santos. Yeah, with this, I would hand over to Francis. So let's go more to the region of Nairobi at this point, before then we go to Eldoret. So Francis, you are with us, I think?
Yes, I'm here.
What's happening on your side, Francis? Very shortly, maybe you tell us about
Manuela, and good afternoon.
Hi.
Yes. All right. So some great updates from my side as Mukuru Angaza. We are now not only operating within Nairobi County, we have stretched beyond the county. We are now at Machakos County as well. And in Machakos County, we have secured a very big piece of land where we are planning to set up now our hub as well there. And already there are a number of activities that are happening with the community in Machakos. We have already started with the fish training, where we trained the community there on fish farming, and now by today, which is already a couple of months later, we are able to harvest our own fish from a water reserve that is adjacent to the piece of land that we are operating at. Also, I'm happy to note that we have gotten in touch with the leadership of the area, from the chief and also the incoming governor, who is a female. She's called Wavinya Ndeti, and we are happy because they are willing to support our trainings and the activities that we are taking to this particular area. So at the moment, we have a temporary simple tent that we are using to conduct our trainings, and the community have been very much welcoming. Also, we are embarking on pig farming, and we have already 4 piglets that we are having, and we have learned about the natural way that you can be able to keep your pigs without having to incur a lot of cost in terms of its maintenance. And having been trained in this, we are already reaching out to the community here and also within the slum community. There are a number of people that keep pigs, and now we are transforming the way that they've been doing it. That is the conventional way they've been doing it, to the new model that we are trying to use. We are hoping that we can be able to set up a nice demonstration pig house within our center, but that is still a plan in progress. So I'm really happy about that. And also there is a group within the community that we are supporting to run juice production and juice selling, that is juice making projects. And already we've done the piloting, and they are so happy because they are realizing profit, and we're able now to get money to the project. And through this money, we're able to also pay them and to also pay a number of volunteers that are working with us. Initially, we used to have at least 4 to 6 volunteers, but now we have, because of the activities that we are running, we have about 15 volunteers that are currently with us. And I'm happy because for me, this is growth, and we have a lot of reach out that we are doing. On October this year, we are hoping to launch our soap. After learning from Christian that had visited and trained us during his visit to Positive Exposure, I learned about soap making, and I've been able to train my community. And now we are in the process of launching our own soap. This is going to happen in October. Already a lot of production is happening, despite various challenges that we've been having, especially with the silicone molds. But we are still trying to come up with a small innovative way that we can be able to continue the production. I'm happy because we have secured already 2 hotels that are telling us we can supply them with our soap. And this also because of the way we are packaging the soap and the message that we are attaching to it, that as you buy this soap, you are helping us advance the work that we do with our communities. So this is something we are looking forward to. And now, not to give so much updates, I give the last one. In December this year, we are going to be launching our first short film. Remember, Mukuru Angaza does a lot of productions, but we've been having challenges in terms of taking the work to the very end. But the current group that we are training, they are at the last stages of finishing up a short story that we shall be running it during the graduation and launching it so that people can be able to understand more about what we mean by the Film Academy that we run. So those are my updates at the moment.
Yeah, and please then share also the film in one of the next SCN meetings with us. We are curious to see that. Also, very, very, very good news regarding the silicone molds. Is it I think it's a financial issue, or is it that you cannot find the right silicone molds in Kenya, in Nairobi at the moment?
My challenge is the ones we are getting, they are really expensive. So we don't have a good budget for that. So it is slowing down our production. We have to work with the very few that we are able to access.
Okay, so let me see if I can bring a few when I come in September. Maybe I can ask some
All right, thank you so much. That would be a major boost.
I don't promise too much. I try, to bring a few. Okay, thank you, Francis. Very interesting. Also, new topics are coming in here with the piggery farming and the fish farming, which I have not seen yet in the slums, or let's say in Nairobi. I have seen it with Kevin. So yeah, let's see. And also the juice selling. Fantastic. And with this, let's go to Kevin. Let's go first to Kevin and then we go back to Nairobi. So, Homa Bay.
Yeah.
Yes, Homa Bay is here.
I am here also.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here today. And just some good updates from our side. I will start by Toby coming all the way from Nigeria to Kenya. We spent much time. We went to Chrysanthus, went to Cleophas, and also to Wawa. And I'm happy because we can see the outcome. We are feeding our birds and also our fish with the larva, the maggot that we are getting from the black soldier fly. And as if this is not enough, I'm also, because I was trained, so I think I was keen enough, and I can now disseminate the skills that I got from Toby to other women in Adiedo who are also doing poultry. They have up to about 525 birds. And so I think this is a plus, and this is how like the networking should be working. Far from this, we also managed to get an opportunity to visit Kibisi Women, which was very, very amazing. And my team really wants to get back there and learn more about the beads, bead making. We picked two interesting points from there, learning from Kibisi. Number one, the agriculture that Cleophas was talking about, and in our small way, in a leased land, we have set like the beds where we are going to plant our, number one, we are going to do tomatoes, not tomatoes, I mean, we are going to do vegetables, the kales, we are going to do cabbages, we are going to do the capsicum, and we're also going to do, there's this one here, it's running out of my mind. But why, yeah, the managu, I don't know how managu is called in English or Latin words.
Black nightshade.
Yeah, that one. Thank you, Cleopas. And so what is interesting here is that we are having 4 volunteers in agriculture. And then these 4 volunteers have been training women on the kitchen garden. And then, so this kitchen garden, for us to do like adequate training, we need to have like a prototype where they can come and learn. And so this is why we decided to lease a land, actually where we have the BSF to put like those small beds for demonstration. When we get like some money, I'm not saying good money, but some money, Cleophas will receive my call. I know he will, to release one of his volunteer who is knowledgeable to come and assist us in erecting the greenhouses with the locally available materials, because from what they told me, is not that much expensive. So Cleophas, you should be waiting for my call anytime from now. And also there's the challenge that our women are facing with the kitchen garden is just one, and it's an issue to do with water. And so I think when you want to do like your small garden and you don't even have water to drink, it becomes a challenge, because not that every woman is coming next to the lake. Some of them that we are dealing with, our beneficiary, come even as far as like good kilometers from the lake. And so for them to access water remains a challenge. And maybe those are the issues that might not assist us in ensuring that we have like good production when it comes to kitchen garden. Another thing that we learned from Cleophas was the beads, and I can categorically say here that this it has assisted like about 4 women again. Where we got an opportunity with the Impact Direct. This another donor who is assisting us to do the crowdfunding. They trained about 10 women and now 12 women on fashion and design. And for those who have come to our, we have like another training center, fashion and Wawa Fashion and Training Hub. And so when we got an opportunity to take some of our products to Netherlands for them to go and sell, the beads were also part of the products that we sent to Netherlands. And someone would ask like, so where did we get the skills to do the beads? We got them from Cleophas. So this is the power of networking. We got them from Cleophas, and we just we furnished, and we also tried to bring some more knowledge on it. And I think they sold them, and these women received money. The money they received, obviously Wawa will always get like its percentage for continuity and sustainability. Up to where we've reached, we are still planning to make sure that the fashion and design is up and running. and we are going to train like more women, and also to train them on some other products like the clovers. If you can remember the bags that your women are making, we did more or less the same, like those that they are making, and also those were part of the bags that we sent to Netherlands. We are really waiting if you'll get opportunity to go to Solasa also for more learning, if time will allow and resources. And I wonder, this my friend called Francis Gikufu forgot that he came to Wawa twice, and he has not given us the update. So Gikufu came. We know Manolis trained us on solid soap. Gikufu came and made sure that this training was also done practically, and just the same as the challenge that he's saying of the molds. Getting the molds is not easy, because I remember like the molds I get, I have like I ordered them from abroad through Jumia, and they are quite expensive actually, and they take much time for them to reach here. So as we speak today, we were waiting for the storm of elections to come, so that we can then take the soap making to another level. And this soap making, because we now know how to make the soap, now the next thing is to package the soap. Packaging the soap is we're using the locally available material. That is the next step. We've bought the materials already, and I think our next session will be next week. For those of you who have come to our, we've been having cuckoos, or the chicken. Today I am sad, because if you keep something and then you are going to sell it away, sometimes you are so very much connected. I would really want to announce here that even as I speak today, I'm in a place called Kindu Bay, and we are establishing Wawa Eatery. And in Wawa Eatery, we are going to do value addition. So we have the cuckoos, the chicken, and then we are going to take this chicken and then we slaughter them. There's this woman who will be slaughtering them, and then this woman will be frying them. We already have all the equipment. The place is set. It's going to start working from Monday, yes, because we still need to get like the medical test for the food handlers. And also, Gikufu talked of the juice. I don't know. Sometimes I find myself like we think the same at some point. Gikufu talked of the juice, and we are today, like before, I think 30 minutes of 1 hour ago, before I joined this call, I was busy training some of the volunteers how to make sugarcane juice mixed with ginger and the lemon. Using like this locally available machine. We got it from Nairobi this morning. And because we are talking about health, if you ask Cleophas will tell you the reason why the organization is called Core Health and Wealth. So health remains like an integral part of everything that we do. So we want people to run away from drinking soda, Coca-Cola. Then why can't we make them and we sell to them like the locally blended juice? And these are some of the avenues where women can make money, and then we fight this enemy called poverty. I think I've said a lot, and if you give me time, I can even talk even up to tomorrow because of the network that we are having. Last but not least, Wawa team will be graduating in December. So all the women and all the men that have benefited from making more health, whether you are in men's health, you are given some cuckoo, you are trained, you are given table banking money. It was part of the training. So in December, all the people, all the beneficiaries that have come across us throughout the year, we are graduating them and we are giving them the certificates, and we are going to say bye-bye to them. So what will be remaining is just to do the follow-up. And because we have like a number of beneficiaries, I think this year we've been having about 30, if not 40 women that have been benefiting from making more health. And so when we are graduating, because we have also some other donors, we are going to make the t-shirts with the WAWA logo and making more health logo for the beneficiaries who have been benefiting from making more health. And I'd really want to welcome all of us who will be able to join this this ceremony, because this is also the an event where we are going to launch our strategic plan that will take us all the way up to 2025. Otherwise, I salute you all, and that was my time, I think, and I'm very, very sure that we are still going to interact more and more. Thank you, and back to you, Manuela.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you so much. Yeah, what should I say? It's also a lot. What I feel is we need discussions in one of the next sessions, or maybe also when we meet in September, October, about the volunteers, to really how would we ensure in our system a basic quality level. I heard some of them are doing certificates. For some trainings we do there's certifications. You do ceremonies, so we should definitely also put this on our agenda, maybe even as a workshop for next year when we meet in person. I plan a 3 days workshop next year in February or end of January for all of us. And but I'm already listing here a little bit the topic that and the question that pop up in my mind, listening to all of you. But also here, thank you so much, and it's definitely great what you do, Kevin. Yeah, so we have a little bit to hurry, but I would, of course, also ask now Elizabeth, and last but not least, of course, also you, Sam, to give us a short update. So maybe Elizabeth first from Eldoret. I hope you can, yeah, you're with us. Yeah. This little pastoral. Hi. Elizabeth, can you hear us? She's there, but we cannot hear you. If not, maybe Sam, if you can start.
Hello, you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Elizabeth. Go on. What's happening in Salasa, in Eldoret?
Yeah, we held our monthly open day, health open days as usual, and we had a good turn up for people who came for checkups, and they were given treatment, and others referred to MTRH for treatment. We also had training for our women. We did some skills training with the women on issues of vegetable cultivation. And we also got support from, there's an initiative called Mkulima Initiative, and they sent trainers who came to train our women on vegetable cultivations and different types of kitchen gardens that they can do in the small spaces that they have in their home. That is ongoing. We are going on with the training with the Mkulima Initiative. They've come from Nakuru. They work together with Egerton University, which is also in Nakuru. We also tried some cabbages in our farm to see if they can do well in our land, and they did very well. I've already started harvesting the cabbages, and the children are using in their feeding program. We also have the parent center, which has attracted so many young mothers. Now we have 60 young mothers in the parent center, and we have almost 85 children.
Wow.
At our parent center at the moment. And the young mothers, we thought that we should have activities of them are just, they don't have any stable
Well, Elizabeth, I think we have some issues with acoustics.
Sorry?
We could not hear your last sentences. At least
Hello?
Yeah,
you
now
can
we
hear
hear
me?
you, Elizabeth. Yeah. So maybe you can just repeat the last sentence. Not sure what's happening. Yeah,
we started the self-help groups for the young mothers. Hello.
Yes, there was a group with the young mothers. We heard about the parent center.
The self-help groups for the young mothers. And we have already started, yeah, with 60 young mothers. Oh.
Yeah.
I think I'm having problems with my connection this side. You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but sometimes there are interruptions. Just try.
Yeah, I think we have.
It's difficult. Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you can hear me.
Yeah, partly.
Yeah.
We have to find better
The
solutions.
preschool is almost ready.
Okay. I think, Elizabeth, you had also.
Yeah, I think
the
connection is.
Yeah. Elizabeth, I'm not sure it makes sense because it's interrupting continuously. If you can hear me, let me just add that we had at Solasa also an optimization of the water situation. Now there is a water tower. There's a, a much better water delivery generally in the campus. We could also build walls around. So now it's also, there's much more safety. And maybe, Ralph, if you are here, maybe you could explain shortly what happened or what's happening with this additional building where we have found a private sponsor, very shortly.
No, as Elizabeth already mentioned, we could get some funding for the preschool construction because the preschool in Eldoret in the slum area had to be closed down. Elizabeth, if you can also share with me the latest reports, but you said it's almost ready. That means you are going to start the preschool. When are you going to start it?
Yeah, by end of September, we think the school will be complete.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that is an outcome of our visit by the beginning of the year, that we could find some supporters or one supporter for the construction, and I'm quite happy that it could be materialized so far. So it went via KKS, the funding, but well, it's good that we found a solution and that it's going to be completed soon. No?
Yeah, and let me add here as well, Ralph. You had done a training with 3 partners. Yeah. Maybe you want to summarize it shortly and also know the next step.
Yeah, we had done a training on. One training was on the issue of project preparation or project writing, in the sense that German NGOs need certain basic information, especially if they want to raise government funding from the German government to support NGOs and projects abroad. So I did a training for Co-Health and Wealth and Solasa, basically. For 2 projects or 2 project proposals from Core Health and Wealth and 1 project proposal from Solasa, to fine-tune the project proposal in such a way that it would be feasible or it would meet all requirements for funding from the German government. But as I said, this funding goes through German NGOs. That means always we have to find a German NGO to place such application to the German government. So 1 round is finished. We had linked up Core Health and Wealth as well as Solasa also with KKS my former organization. I'm not quite sure about the status right now, but the second round of training will be starting next week for another 3 organizations of yours. The participants have already been informed about that, and we are starting on this issue of project, or on collecting all information which is necessary to place a project application. And the other workshop I had offered is about the issue of financial management, which will also follow for these 3 organizations starting also within the coming weeks. No?
Yeah,
that is the status at that end.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much even for your work, Ralf. I mean, it makes a huge difference, and it is not just, let's say that maybe one project really can at the end be very successful and really be implemented. It is a general training to understand how international requests for support might be set up and what are the expectations. So whoever of you might have an opportunity, whether it's in Germany or even in other countries, you get an idea how to do that and what might be also these international expectations. Good. Yes, Elizabeth, I'm sorry that I interrupted you, but I know also that you had also on a volunteer level, you had also exchange visits. So some of them was already mentioned. I'm happy to meet you soon so that we can also look together into what are the next steps, as well as what are your next big contribution and receivement by the system changer network itself. So Sam, I think Sam is with us. Not everyone is with us, but Sam is still here. So Sam, the next 3 minutes are yours. Last update from your side. We are back in.
Thank you very much, Manuela. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Everyone else, I think so.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Manuela. As for us, we are establishing a Making More Health Center in Mukuru Fuata Nyayo in Nairobi. The idea is to, we are working with a school, an existing school called Child Rock, and Making More Health is supporting to improve the infrastructure in the school by building improving the classrooms, building some more space. And out of that, we are going to get some space for the Making More Health Mukuru Center. And the center essentially is going to be a vocational, training center targeting mainly, youth and women in the community. And as of now, we had actually planned to start the activities by the end of July or in August. However, there has been a delay in the construction of in the completion of the construction work. And therefore, what we have done is to rent a space in an adjacent, a church that's next door. And we are then now planning to, start our activities in September based on the, and then do that maybe until the end of the year. And at the end of that, we can then, move to the back to Child Rock. Although there's a feeling that once we've started work on this church, then maybe we will not stop the work there, but we can actually have activities going on in the 2 places because they're part of the same community. We plan to start by having a community activation day, just to invite members of the community to hear their views, and also just to at least introduce our activities, have some sort of focus groups to be able to hear what the community have to say. We are working with both Solasa and Mukuru Angaza. We had Tabitha from Solasa came and we visited the place. We wanted her to just see what it is like. We also have been there with Francis. The idea being that we would like to collaborate with both of these, both SOLAS and Mukuru and Gaza, for purposes of getting the training training resources. And so, in addition, I think, Francis, we are also thinking of how we can be able to have a youth mentoring program, and even, the photography, videography that they're doing, so that we can have a much wider, much richer, curriculum for the youth there. Now, so the plan is to take in a group in September. We want to run a pilot for 4 months between September, October, November, and December. Idea being to during that time to improve the production, and then also get to do the branding, to register the brand names, to try and see how at the end of the 4 months we can actually now go into proper commercial production. So I believe that come September we will be able to start this, and depending on we're still planning, but probably in the second week of September now we would have this community activation day, and I think we will be able to give you further briefing on that, Manuela, once we've had the further discussions with members of the church, because we are using the youth in the church as our community activation ambassadors. And we will be able to have them go out to the community, maybe wearing some, Making More Health Mukuru T-shirts, carrying some flyers, if necessary, something like that, just to gain the interest. So that is where we are. I think we're looking forward to starting the work at the church at the beginning of September. Thank you.
Many thanks, Sam. Yeah, it sounds now very promising, also very concrete. I have also got your plan. I had not the time to look at it, but I will do that definitely in the next days, so that you can also get my input and then continue, and my support for that. It's with the material costs that were getting higher and higher. We saw that in many places. But I think it's a very good solution that we have found, and I hope that in 6 months from now we will have a community there. We will have maybe identified first volunteers, and it's great that right from the beginning you are connected with Solasa, with Francis. Another possibility could be also Vico, who's not partner here yet, but maybe let's talk about that when we meet in September then as well. Well, thank you so much. I think everyone had a chance now to share. It was a lot. It was even more than I scheduled time-wise. With that, I go back now to our agenda. Maybe I can make it a little shorter when it comes not to the costs here, but when it comes to to my presentation exactly. And I can make it a little shorter with Matthias Witt. Matthias today is not here. However, Matthias is leading Malteser International in Uganda. And when he heard about us, we were in contact through other channels. He said, let me go. Can I go to Webuye and really find out what's happening there? So that's why Matthias went to GASP. And because the International Malteser are having strategic discussions about the future, it was a very good time, a point in time. So they decided that they would love our Matthias and let's say this Uganda, Kenyan lead he has. It would be great to pilot and to test whether he can become a partner. Due to my personal issues, I could not follow it up in the past really deeply with him, but I will do that, and I will hope that he also officially, as he said, will become a partner. We still have to define then how it looks. Will he also have a community? What is his role in that? Does he also then, is he able to receive and send volunteers? So I don't know that at the moment. I just wanted to announce it, and I think then the next time he will share much more about that. Good. Let me go just a moment back to the, I think someone else is waiting. No, everyone is here. Yeah, it's here. Okay, so I go back to my next agenda point, which now is the presentation that I have prepared a little bit with these topics of System Changer Network Manual, System Changer Network Manifesto, and I wanted to share with you also a little bit the System Changer Analysis tool. Yeah, so you might remember what has happened so far. We met in February 22, and we did a first pilot approach about the linkages among System Changer partners with a rule, you remember that. Then we also measured a little bit the quality level. So we called it an index of those linkages based on specific criteria to reach partner. So yeah, how these linkages are among single partners, individual partners, but also how is this index in the whole system. We had an index figured out of about 2.9. The maximum is 5. Minimum, of course, was 0, which is really already good. And we had not started all these activities with the volunteer exchanges and so on that we have now mentioned. What we did, we measured the linkages on the top level of the partners only, not among the volunteer structures, which came up later. And this led to a huge number of additional activities. I mean, we have just heard about it, so I don't have to explain what I mean, but a lot of things are happening now in terms of exchanges, which is what the system should definitely also do to do what we have in mind, so to create much bigger impact, to have a much bigger outreach and so on. Just to summarize this, many of you have started to build volunteer structures. That's where I say we have to align a little bit also how we ensure the quality level of the volunteers, so that in our system somehow for all of us, we have a common understanding what is and who is a volunteer, and maybe we have different volunteer levels. Some of them who, maybe just some of them do train, others might do other things, but this is something we have to discuss. And you have started these exchanges, these visit exchanges. And from our side, we have prepared an SCN manual that I will show you in a second, and also this SCN manifesto. But we have also built a first visible model based on the numbers and facts and criteria that we have, collected in February. And we have done that to show what kind of measurements we would be able to create, to find sponsors for real interactive tool, and to understand even the interest of other players in such an approach. So it was really very spontaneous, I would say, or a basic starting point, which is typical for MMA, to start small, grow big, as you all do. And I found a person, her name is Olga. She cannot join us today, but Olga from the Stifterverband, this is a kind of association of associations of many German associations and companies in Berlin. She has volunteered, she has an IT background, and has prepared a first look and feel, not really an interactive tool, but what she did, she analyzed the numbers and gave me a report. Here you see just some pictures out of this report. I will send you the full report with this presentation, of course, at the end. So what you can see here, we can, for example, now track, if you talk about a topic, let's say animal health, who or which partners, for example, are already involved. Of course, we can make it much more granular and saying, okay, the BSF training, for example, has reached which locations and which NGO partners in our system. We can also look at the organization like Solasa, for example, and say, okay, they are already involved in several topics, like, for example, farming, in women health, in parent center, and so on. And we can also match the organizations with these topics. So we have taken the basic needs according to Maslow's pyramid and completed it a little bit with specific topics that come from our system, like albinism. And then we have said, okay, for example, which are the topics and which are the connections of the partners, as you see, for example, GASP is in aging, GASP is in albinism, GASP is in basic business skill sessions, and so on. But if you look not at organizations here, but you look rather at the topics, you see that in some topics we are not in yet. For example, mobility solutions or energy is also, for example, a topic that where we have not even started to work with, which gives us also strategically some ideas where to go. What we have learned is, as I told you, the feedback we got internally, but also externally, where people came up spontaneously saying, hey, we do that for you. We want to be part of it. We also would love to have a tool like that, are really promising. When we had set up this tool, we also figured out, okay, there are some weak points. We have to be really clear or much clearer on some details when we are now going to build a really interactive tool that should also become our basic tool for measurements over a longer period. We have also to figure out, it's not just a tool that we build, but also how do we communicate it, or what else do we need besides the tool, like interactive questionnaires, for example, for the volunteers, because we cannot go to all the volunteers and do the same thing that we have done in February together in our room. So we cannot bring together hundreds of volunteers now. We have to be more precise, which data we collect, by whom, and on which criteria. You remember the 5 criteria. Maybe we have to review them to complement them. And the idea is exactly that we would also build a tool that can be used even in other parts of the world. For example, when we launch now the System Changer Network in India, that they could also use a tool and they do not have to rebuild it right from scratch. And even other partners, even from the Karl Kübel Institute in Germany, they also got very much interested in that, okay, we could also use such kind of tool for the activities we do with our partners in Germany in the topic of children and family care. So these are all, let's say, the most important learnings. We had more. What we have done, we defined the scope of the tool more precisely, really to say, okay, this network analysis tool should share in a measurable and long-term way that a system approach, as we do it as partners here, and together with MMH community activation, will have a much more sustainable and bigger impact than investing in the single activities and partners only. So this is a hypothesis. This is where we are, why we are doing what we are doing. We see from the practice very many positive outcomes, but we have to measure that, and we have also to make it more transparent to the others. And that's why we are going to track in this tool, as we started, how the linkages and outreach to vulnerable communities grows as a system. We will be able also to track the role of single partners and their activities within the system, as I showed you a little bit. So every one of you will be able to go to the tool and see where I am, which topics I have already included, where might be other partners involved in other topics, so that we can catch up, and also the topics outreach within the system. And now let me see. Yeah, I have to put this away again. Whoops. Yeah, and we decided also a little bit, does it make sense to put everyone here of the System Changer Network into the tool measurement? And this is probably a basic decision. So, and I'm talking now, for example, about the State Foundation. Sorry that Valentine is not with us, but it does not make sense to track the outreach to communities if our partners, which we need those partners as well, but they have another task in our system changer network. They are not working with communities. They are rather in marketing and communications, in helping us to share what we do. So we decided for really the next tool, this tracking tool, we would not track partners who have no or do not work with own communities. I just put it together very quickly before that meeting, sorry. Who do not work with own communities. Partners who have more a consultancy role or engage in other parts of the SCN, as I listed here. And what we will definitely do, what we do at the top layer, we have to track it also on a volunteer layer. And here now you understand also a little bit, we have to find a very clear definition. Who is that volunteer that we count? You might have other volunteers, but the volunteers we count have to fulfill certain criteria as well before we can count them. Not every volunteer that volunteers once a time should be tracked, but those volunteers who as really certified partners, committed partners, really commit to run trainings over a long period, these might be the criteria to define who are these volunteers to do so. Yeah. We are on the way to find within BI a sponsor to set up this interactive tool. So we have a department called BIX, which is an innovation department of BI. And at the moment we are preparing a pitch briefing. Yeah. We have already positive feedback on it, but as long as I don't have it in a written format, and the pitch is still to do, yeah. But if they agree, they would build this interactive tool and also finance it, because it will cost a little bit, yeah. If we really want to make it in a way that also there is a surface that we as not experts understand it, that we can put our numbers into that. We are planning in October also a workshop with other parts of BI, so that we can also think about secondary support for this tool, like the interactive questionnaire. Someone has to build them. And then hopefully in November, maybe till February, maybe till March next year, they will build a tool. So I'm not sure if it's ready already next year when we meet. But of course, I will be able to share much more with you and what we do during our system changer network in February and the data we will collect there and so on. Then they will go into that tool. And I hope I can also bring one of these BIX colleagues with me so that he can then fix the missing points. So if people know and see, it's much better than just giving them information on slides. And with this also here, our next SCN meeting, as I said, is planned end of January, first week of February. Sorry that I cannot fix it right now. I'm waiting for an information that I hopefully get even before I come in September, whether some board members or a high manager group will plan a trip to Kenya to visit some of you. And if so, then they would probably come in January. That's why I say, depending if they come or not, I would put the date for our SCN around. What I have in mind is really a 3 days workshop. Probably we will do it this time in Webuye for all of you. And those who work with communities should bring also 2 community members, because we will definitely also do the same. Let's say we will do a lot of workshops with volunteers to figure out also how we align it, the quality, and also do some first counting, who met whom and which visits already took place and so on. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you here. Now, a very, very quick run through this system change and network approaches, this report, if you have no questions so far. If you have questions at that point, raise your hand. Because otherwise I will now really go into these three things: the report, the first visible outcome of our counting, then the manual, and also the system changer manifesto that we need to finalize today. But if this is clear so far, then I go ahead. Good. Yeah, exactly what you see here. This is the report by Olga, by the Stifterverband that I got. She explains a little bit at the beginning what she has done and a little bit the story behind, and about the system changer network. And with this tool, as she said, we want to measure if we are doing it right, if the network we are building is getting stronger over time, if the network enables and empowers the community members, and what kind of roles various organizations play in the network. This is still not so clear. I think it's very clear with the people who are here today, who run own communities. It might not be so clear with others, like, for example, the Malteser, what kind of collaboration will it be? And the same also with the State Foundation. And I will come back to a few of you even to discuss a little bit how we measure it. For example, Esther, as you are here, I have no idea how we do that, or if we do it via Vera and Elizabeth, or so we have some cases where we have still to look into. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I just said that, yeah, we need to consider how to measure it.
Yeah.
I don't have a proper answer for that.
Yeah, so now step by step. Yeah, she was just explaining. I think I can't skip it because you might be much more interested to see a little bit what is possible with such a measurement and tool. Oh, right, back. So now this is away. It comes back. But he gave just an example of diagrams that we could do. And you see here, for example, now here we have even more organizations that probably will not all be there, but you see the density of the linkage of two partners can be larger or smaller. And normally in an interactive tool, you could also click on it and would get more information on the organization, but of course also on the linkage itself. So this is just a little bit visualized, for example, that the relationship between Core Health and Wells and let's say Solasa, here we are in January 21, was not so much. Yeah, CMDS, some we have to find the right name. I'm not sure. I think it's not CMDS, but you find yourself here CMDS. This will also grow. But for example, the relationship between, yeah, for example, positive exposure in Ashoka is much thicker than it has others. Another thing is, as I mentioned, we have here, for example, the topics. So you could see how these topics are interlinked together also with our partners. She gave me also some information. So there are IT terminologies, yeah, nodes. So the organizations are nodes, the partners, and the lines, the linkages are the edges. So this is how IT people look at that, and you can measure the distance between them and the thickness of the lines. This is what I mentioned before. She gave me examples on certain topics here. The graph of albinism shows how it is connected already to which locations, to which organizations. Here you see, for example, the network adjusted for centrality. So these are also very particular terminologies. Oh, sorry. Terminologies. Those who are connected more, who are the partners with most or strongest connections. This can be made visible. Here you see a little bit also these scores. So we said, okay, we have also to think about, all of you have focus topics. So let's say GASP is in aging and albinism in marginalized people, now maybe also women. Meanwhile, core health and wealth is more in environment as a focus point. So automatically, if we do environmental projects, the idea is in the future we would start the trainings on environment probably anyhow with core health and wealth, because they are the focus driver in environment. But we see also that, for example, GASP and Solasa, they already had water projects running, and not just in one dimension. It was not just water trainings, like say on awareness, but also maybe infrastructure. So these would then also give us an idea, for example, and we could also show that in a graph, where we start, which kind of topics from. So a big work will be to say, okay, let's do a list of all the topics, and then also see how they connect to your organizational mission and vision as well. Here is a very good example where you see energy, for example, and waste management project, where we had not done so much in the past. This year we do much more on waste management with the BSF, but also with our Venture for Change program. So it will be more, but it helps us even strategically to see in the whole system, where are the topics that maybe have just one connection or two connection, and others where we have done even more. And we have even to go deeper. We have to say, if we talk about energy, maybe we have 3, 4, 5 aspects of energy, and we can look at it as, for example, is there energy available on a household level? Is it available more on a group level? Or if I talk about mobility, do we have a car for the cooperative, or do we have individual transport means, or are there at least public means they can take? So we have to go a little bit deeper and not just say, okay, we have one project in energy and that's why energy is tackled. This is definitely also something we have to go deeper. I do not want even to bore you with that, but you see here there is a lot of different activity that you see and possibilities to get insights. And if we also mirror it on a volunteer level and then match it again at the end to see how do we reach our communities. So this outreach, it has also many, not many, but maybe 4 or 5 dimensions, how then we can also calculate it and get out a system index for the outreach on a volunteer level, linked or interlinked also with our top level linkages. So these are the things I'm discussing at the moment, and here I need, of course, the support of some experts, so that it does not get too complicated, and that we also take some decisions where we say, okay, now it's enough. I mean, you can measure everything, but it should be also feasible and manageable for all of us afterwards, and not that it costs us weeks of measuring and we have not the time to do our work on the ground. And you see, but also you see, for example, how resilient the network is. The more you are interconnected, the less important is, let's say, the centralized role of MMH, which does not mean that we go away, but our role changes also over time. I mean, we started that, and then we started the projects, and then we started the SCN, and then we became more the consultants or bring in only innovation parts into that. This is a little bit the development that we see as well. And you see it's here the next steps. Here already came up now definitely the proposal, develop an online monitoring analysis tool, this really existing interactive tool that everyone can access and every time see where you are. We will measure it once a year, so not too often, but then you can also see the progress year by year in many directions, be it topic-wise, be it outreach-wise, be it linkage-wise to other partners. We need to think about communications, also to set up some joint events where then our partners like Stay Foundation or Stifterverband might have, might have more impact as well. They are a little bit at the moment in the background, and collect the data on volunteers. I'm repeating now a little bit what I have already said, so I just skip that and I go back to you. First reactions on the tool. Are you sleeping now? You are excited, or?
No, we are not sleeping. We are following you. Eh?
You are internalizing it.
I think people are just digesting it and trying to understand, to position it in their minds, how this can fit in their organizations, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just wanted to share with you a little bit this visualization, because I have to say, I hoped that something similar could be done, but when I got the different aspects and she came back, and you can show this and you can show that, I had to say, oh wow, this is a lot. Let's see how that is. And I think this is what business people at least like a lot, that they can see it. I mean, normally NGOs are used to write reports to the sponsors, to the donors, so that they get more money with a lot of nice pictures and of course also some basic facts and figures. But I think this is not substituting what we have done in the past or what you are doing. This is also needed, but it could be a kind of innovative additional approach that hopefully that hopefully leads to a kind of wow effect and also opens a little bit the mind about system thinking, because business people see that and say, wow, this is a different way of measuring impact, and this is very important at the moment as a big trend in the whole industry as well. And I think also for some NGOs, bigger NGOs, it might be a future-oriented way of adding a different type of impact measurement.
So what's really clear for me, by the way, listening to you all as well as watching that presentation is, I mean, how powerful what you do together is, but that what you would see from that, all of you, is that you can see what's missing. You can really clearly see, okay, like you gave the example of energy. If energy is a important factor somebody's not covering, that's really obvious from what you're doing, so it's very powerful. But also in your collaboration, if any one of you needed something where you needed, in your communities, you needed some extra oomph on energy or water or whatever, then you can easily see from that who else is involved and how you might collaborate more with them. So it isn't, I would say, really encourage you. This is a genuine tool for collaboration here that all of you can use. And it looks fantastic, but it is also very, very powerful tool, I think. So I mean, it has nothing to do with it, but Manuela should be really pleased with it.
Yeah, we try our best now, and I will come back to all of you because here and there I need your input so that we can also take decisions. What do we measure? Where do we stop it? Which are now the topics, the final topic that we measure? Yeah, and how do we connect them to the 4 dimensions? You know, we have these 4 dimensions where we invest to as Boehringer, which is health awareness, health and hygiene. It's income generation, it's infrastructures, and education and culture in general. So how do we count it in terms or in connection to these dimensions? Is now a BSF training, a Black Soldier Flight training, is it now income generation, or is it a health training because it's animal health? And if it's double, how does it work? So these are the points where we have to look at. Ralph, you have also a question. I think some more people also want to speak up. Or it's still a hand that has...
Yeah, I mean, in the initial presentation of the partners, we heard that a lot of trainings or knowledge was passed on through other partners. I would be very much interested to see how, and some partners even said we did a refinement in our organization of such training and in the application. This kind of learnings we should try to capture to see how the trainings, the application of trainings, the different experience from different target groups really flows back to where it came from, to refine approaches, to improve approaches. I know it becomes more and more complex, but anyhow, this is the chance in it to see the different applications, the refinement of approaches. But it requires also a lot of sources to capture and to document, and finally, to come up with a new level of quality. We have already a quality in the different approaches, but to see the added value through this kind of knowledge exchange. No?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Ralph. Maybe the two of us can also think about a little bit on how we could set it up, and you could support here a little bit to go back to all our partners. They mentioned it here and there today, yeah. But we have to capture it, and then maybe we can recognize a little bit which are the basic criteria of quality, what should be the standard, let's say, and what are the learnings as well. So let's discuss it as a to-do, as an outcome of this meeting as well. And Esther also has raised her hand, I think. Esther?
Yes, just a few remarks is that I was raising my hand before, but somehow it's disappeared. So I just wanted to mention what you already know, Manuela, that we applied together with Stay Alliance and Cloudfast for a huge Lego competition or challenge, building the world of play, which I think it's a different kind of level of cooperation where we try to attract a $30 million fund. Okay, it's $1 million would be enough, but it's a different kind of collaboration, which somehow, it just came to my mind that somehow if there will be any kind of quality, or what just Jeremy said, to incorporate somehow to this network, that this is strong, this is something we can rely and we can build on. And even if we would know from the things that who can of course I know everybody, I know the organization's core profile, but still it would be so nice to have kind of, if there is a call, sorry, it's a train, so if there is any kind of call from Lego or from different organization, and then I will immediately know that who to contact, because we have a strong, powerful information that I know that, okay, Vava knows this and I can rely on them, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So somehow this we should figure out.
Exactly. And this leads me already to the next topic. This is a very good observation, Esther. And then I show you something that we have started, but here it's exactly, I think, the direction. If you say, no, it's not that, then let's discuss it again. Let me share with you we thought it would be good to have a kind of, where is it now? I have to open it first, maybe. So, yeah, I have to open that first, and then I can share it with you. Oh, no, I can share it with you. Yeah. So what we have set up, and probably this is a little big now. Is it? Right? Is it this? It's not what I wanted. Sorry. I open it again. Just a second. SCN materials. Here we have our manual. Yeah, so that really we have a kind of manual in our system that describes a little bit what it is all about, who we are, what we do. And so if you go a little bit deeper, you have seen it maybe also in the attachment of the invitation. The system change and network manual is also something that we can work on every year when we meet and maybe add or correct some data, but it is like a basic document for all of us. So what is it? Yeah. So we described it a little bit. When was it created? Here also, yeah, is a network, is a collaborative partnering network of national, international, NGOs, social entrepreneurs, and other organizations which invest in empowering communities living at the poverty line. In addition to this activity, the communities and their own stakeholders invest actively in the network building and innovative strategic approaches, and create with that a different, more holistic and also exponentially growing impact in society. Maybe I can make it also a little bigger for you, not sure. I will see. Can you read it better now? Maybe, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, and also very shortly, when did it start? Then we have a page on the history. Yeah. When it was founded, then we have a little bit our overall vision, I would say. And I put it there, but and this is the vision we have as MMH community activation. But we have to agree on that this is also our vision. And maybe you say, no, maybe we have to add a word or we have to bring in another sentence in addition. So my idea, or our idea as MMH community activation, is to empower with this network communities at the poverty line, to empower themselves, and beyond that, enable them to empower others. And this is a big difference, because only if they start to share it, to live it, to teach it, then it means also that they get it, and that this impact can grow exponentially. So I would need your feedback on that. Should we add a wording like holistically, something like that? Here we have SCN Kenya at a glance, also to be reviewed if this is, yeah, we have 11 core partners. We have 5 existing and planned making more health hubs. This is we have 2. The third one is under planning. The fourth one is in Mukuru slums. Sam has mentioned it will hopefully also be there very soon. So this is 4. And then we have also Jane in Nyeri with another one. So till 2025. We have more than 30 fields of action, topics, yeah, themes. We have reached more than 7 counties. Now I learned from Francis that you are also in a new county. Maybe it's already 8 and not 7. We have to recount it. We have these 4 dimensions of action: health and hygiene, income generation, education and infrastructure, and environment. We have 17 factors determining health address. So all the different health topics that we have put up. We have 3 MMH fellows involved as core partners, so Jane Waitera, Esther, and Sam. Then there is a page, and here now it does not show up very well in my, I have maybe to make it a little, yeah, we have 1 page, and you look at here at the left, where we would have a map and also show your profile pictures, your organizational names, and the location. And so we would have these leader profiles. We would include our manifesto, where our set of values, let's say, we are all committed to. And we would also need to work here a little bit on what are the focus areas of all these hubs or partners as well. No? So for example, then in the hub in Nairobi, in Mukuru slums, would mainly work with slum habitants. But here I need your input, Sam. Is it only men, women and girls, or is it also men? It's the same for you, Francis. So here we have the hubs, but we have to complete it. Therefore, really the first task I have for you today is going through this manual and to give me feedback and the additional information so that we can complete that. Yeah. And then also the idea that we have some training, some events together. Like today, okay, we have our SCN meeting here now, end of August, and then we develop certain things that, for example, and this I have, so that we have also a timeline, that we can fix next year. I mean, I need your input, what is possible, where you think you have the information, and I will write you a briefing what I need exactly, but this is the manual you should look at and say, okay, and Manuela needs this and that information so that we can fill it. And we have here also in this manual already, as you get it, all contact details with phone addresses, email, and the full address, so that hopefully you can use it as your day-by-day manual and figure out, okay, I need to contact this guy. What was Solasa doing, and what is the focus of SEM in Mukuru slums? So this would, I think, be really good to have these basics, even to share it or to use it as a source for your proposals or whatever for external partner discussions you might have. Really to look at that. This is the idea. And also to know which parts are missing. So I will send you an email with a few questions around the manual so that you can give me the information. Then I fill it in, and then we might be able to finalize the first draft in the next 4 or 5 weeks. And then I send it to you, and then we continue to work in February with maybe additional chapters. If you have other topics where you say, hey, Manuela, we should have a page on ABC, then let me also know, because then maybe I can work on it. With my team. Any comments on that manual? And I'm sorry that it was this very strange manual that I have shared with you. But
You will be sharing it with us, Manuela, in due course.
Yeah, I have already shared that in the invitation. You will find it.
Okay.
But I will also send you an email with all the points that I have mentioned, the questions, so that maybe you can send me the answers. And also comments from your side where you say, please put also a map of Kenya with the cars we have, or whatever it is. So that maybe we can, I think we need it as a basic manual. Do you agree on that?
Yes.
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 Good.
Yes.
We need it.
That's perfect. Good. So then I wait for your feedback based on my email, and then Ralph, maybe you can help me, and we finish it, and then you get it. But you can already use it. The information that you find in this manual in the invitation is the same. It's a right one, in terms of addresses, it might not be complete. That's the point. Good. And then I have this manifesto that I also wanted to discuss with you today. So I go back to that, and let me open that, and then open here the sharing point, sharing. Yeah. So what I think we should do, and you give me your feedback again, is you should read through this manifesto. I think everyone who is a partner in this system changer network should also sign that. I mean, it's a manifesto, it's not a contract. It has no legal dimension. But it would be nice if we have a common understanding and commitment that what is written in this manifesto you agree to. And that every new partner who might join in the future has also to commit to these values. So let me share with you a little bit what I mean here, and maybe we read through very shortly. The System Changer Network, a group of core partners on an organization steering level, aims to empower the people at the poverty line in the included and well-defined partner communities in a way that the communities living at the poverty line can empower themselves and others within the community's locations. The result of our work should be a win to all, to the communities, to the core partners, and the core partners within the SCN Kenya and the system, of course. The SCN Kenya understands itself as a pilot group of diverse partners, organizations with different roles and responsibilities, which are necessary to make more and more sustainable change for better happen. Together, beyond the own organizational borders, we are committed to invest into systemic and integrative approaches, strategies, and structures while co-creating and complementing each other. As part of our work, the ASEAN Kenya will explore how sharing of knowledge and experience from and with the communities and among the partners, networking with social enterprises and innovative solution makers, for example, like Toby, solutions that uplift and enable strategic communications internally and externally, and more qualitative impact measurement tools can create efficiently an impactful, sustainable, community-owned and innovative way of change for better, maybe a pattern to be scaled by others in future. Our SCN is based on a common set of values and vision. We unite to create an environment of trust, co-creation, and a set of mindset of collective progress. We empower people and to help them to empower others. Be mindful of diversity of thoughts, cultures, personalities, and people, and advocate their inclusion. Invest actively in perpetual learning and in continuous development of ourselves and our communities. As we immerse ourselves in the system changer network and share not only knowledge and resources, but also the spirit of change, we commit to active participation and contribution to build the system changer network and to execute activity that benefit the communities, collaboration and collaborative experimentation that contributes to overall communal progress, transparency and open communication in our collaboration efforts within the system changer network, integrity and accountability in the actions we take for our communities and the system changer network, adoption of a holistic perspective of health, well-being and safety of communities. We commit to serve, protect, pioneer the advancement of our communities with the power of our system changer network, and we are mindful of our partnering values. And here I have listed a little bit these ways on how we start activities and how we steer them and how we did it in the past. We run innovative projects and activities with the people on the ground, not for them only. Belonging, transparency, leveraging ownership are key values within the SCN, and also the work we do with the communities. We start small, we test, we grow big, doing and testing over theoretic perfect processes and tools, good enough solutions, and continuously getting feedback loops to optimize the next steps are key to understand how our doing impacts the system in our communities and partnerships. Responding to change over following a plan. Yeah, I mean, we all are used to do plans, especially from the business side, and then 5-year strategies, but we need to be open to change it if we see this is necessary and to adapt it. Partnering and trust over contract negotiation. So we have not a contract. Also, this, as I said, is not a contract. It is just a commitment. Stronger together as a behavioral understanding, long-term, lifelong change in people's living standards, social and economic is what we are looking for. And it would be great if, I mean, of course, if you have comments, if you say, I don't understand that, or I don't want that, or I want something else, please also give me your feedback here, and then I can integrate it. Otherwise, it would be also good to tell me, yeah, we are okay, and then maybe within the next week you would sign it and send it back, so that somehow we can also put that as an attachment to our manual, so that every one of us has also an access to it. I was also thinking where we can put all these documents. I mean, I cannot put them on the Boehringer server because you have no access to our Boehringer world. Maybe I think it's not critical. We could put it on Google Drive, for example, so that everyone every time could also electronically see what's happening. Or if you have better ideas, I'm open to it. And I close this also because I think in the last minutes, let's discuss this a little bit and see. Kevin, what are you thinking? You are thinking.
I'm just having some noise like from where I am. I'll respond to it later on, please. I need to change like my position where I am.
Okay, good. I mean, I don't say you have, maybe I have to be clear here. It is not that you should now not do what you did as an individual organization. It has no impact on this. This is just in your role as an SCN member that you would also find the time with the right intent or commitment to leverage the system. So it does not mean you have now to review your own organization and ideas. You do whatever you do, yeah. But in addition, let's say, really to build this system. This is the idea of this manifesto and the whole thing that we are doing. Hopefully creating a pattern, a system that is very successful as we see it right now, where hopefully we could also later on maybe get a win back because we are the pioneers. If this happens, I don't know. As long as it creates positive results to you, I think it's good. And but I need an official somehow statement by everyone, because otherwise now we are starting to invest a lot of money in the tool, and then you tell me in 2 months, no, I will stop to do that. I have so much to do with my poultry, and I'm not interested anymore. So I want to have really a kind of trusted and transparent commitment, let's say, where you actively also say yes. Because in February, I mean, we started. I did not even ask you, but I think we should do that before we continue. I need 2-3 reactions before I close down. Who is the one?
Manuela, just a quick one.
Yeah.
I thought I had like some issues with my internet, and also the background is not that conducive. It's a bit noisy, my background, for that reason. So I want to ask, like, in the manifesto, is there anywhere captured like we need to sign the agreement, and then this agreement should be tying the network for how many years? Maybe we can start from there. I don't know whether you mentioned it during your presentation.
Indeed, there is no time limitation in that manifesto and in the whole thing. If this is a common way of say yes, I think we should put that. We can also say, okay, for the next 5 years, and then we renew this commitment. But this is something that really I need in an email as a feedback, and then I can add it, then I will send it around, and every one of us can have a look at it before we sign it finally.
It's my slight suggestion that it can be prudent if we include like the period that someone is going to be there, so that when we start doing an activity, money is going to be used, so you don't just have to jump like at will. Like I feel like I don't want to be part of this, and money has been spent on your organization and your beneficiaries. So at least if you have like a period of time like 5 years to the least, I think this will it will go a long way. So it will be like but even if you leave that one aside, I know all of us were in this network because there's something that is bringing us together, the passion that we want to do, the change that we want to do in the community. But there again, we need to put like the time limit. At least you have to be the network for a period of time. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, great idea, Francis. Thank you for bringing that up. Ralph, you had another comment?
Yeah, we have heard a lot of experiences are brought into the network, and that is the purpose of it. But I think we should also have some kind of understanding about the intellectual property. That means if one organization shares some extraordinary approach, this organization should be honored for sharing, not in terms of money, but if another organization is further fine-tuning this approach and even selling it as his or her idea, this should not happen. We should always give credit to the network or the organization who has first developed an approach. Because we don't know how far this could be growing, and other organizations may be attracted to join or to tap the knowledge of the network. And then we should always have a mechanism to say this is the property or the intellectual property of for health and wealth or whoever. No.
Yeah, you're right. We should also
at least we should have an understanding how to honor the one or the organization which has developed the first input.
The network as a whole. Yeah, right.
Yeah, or the network as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there will be some organizations contributing more, some organizations contributing less, and we should try to balance also.
Yeah.
Jerry? Just very quickly, I know I'm not part of it, but standing back from it and listening, just to what's just been said, all I ask you to do is remember that this is a pilot that you're doing and that you'll want to adapt it over time as you learn. And so don't do things that are going to stop you from changing it as you adapt and as you learn from it. So that would be my encouragement. So, and the other thing is, maybe you could have a commitment to each other, which is, this is all about win-win, isn't it? All about winning together. And if you maybe have a commitment to each other that you own up when you don't believe that you're gaining anymore, and that would help everybody to understand what your position is, so that you can say, actually, I don't know whether I'm winning anymore. And that way people would help. You can help each other. Otherwise, what Chrysanthus's point, you might just want to leave because you're not getting anything from it. Whereas actually, if you owned up and said it, you would support each other in working out how it happens then. So, but yeah, please don't restrict yourselves to stopping it from adapting over time as well.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. And I mean, this win idea should be definitely a win to every one of us, because otherwise it does not make sense. Why should even, and it is not a Boehringer, let's say, steered system. We started it as making more, but we are a partner as you are. This is our understanding for this system. We might even put some money into that. But it's not Manuela, it's not Boehringer saying, okay, no, I think we go left, and three of you say, no, we go right, and then we have to go left. This should not be the way. So we have some criteria put. For example, there should not be 100 partners in a system, because then it's not manageable. So we have set maximum 15 partners. If then more people want also to join, they maybe can build their own system, and you can also become a partner of another system, not just stay with our system if you want. But this here is a pilot system, and together we should develop it, and together we should own it, and together we should also develop it. This is the idea, also of this partnering manifesto. And that's why I said also we need these 3 days. And maybe we can also sign it only next year in February, but we should start to work on it so that I have a draft, and then maybe with some smaller things we can also, for example, say, okay, now we have a first version that we can share, be it the governor who's visiting us, be it an NGO in Germany who wants to be it, or whether it is someone else, an external visitor or a volunteer who wants to know more about it. Then I have this, I can also talk about it with one voice as one owner of the system. That's the idea. Good.
And also,
so
Manila.
Yeah.
One more thing, Manila. In the manifesto, we can add a data protection policy, like a consent form like that. It will help for all the parties.
The consent form you say also for photos and so on. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That is
so
in the
that
manifesto. We should add a data protection policy.
Yeah.
Some form of consent or something else that will be helpful for others also.
And then we don't have to. I mean, and this is if we show examples, if we talk about the tool, if we do photos. I mean, we are owners, and we and how we handle it. That's very nice. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. So thank you very, very much for all your time. I hope I will meet most of you, I think all of you nearly, in September. Esther, I'm not so sure, but we will stay in touch anyhow. And then maybe I will also send you this email so that we can connect and collect more data to go ahead, and the rest in September in person. And again, I'm very, very happy with all the progress and what everyone is doing and how you are doing it and how you connect with each other. I mean, this is what the system is all about. Yeah. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Manila.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, and thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you, Jeremy. Thank you.
Bye.
Happy to see you all. Bye-bye. Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a
Thanks, Almaraz.
Big thank you.
Let's see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.